people buy people first. I really think that if people, they like you, they resonate with you, you vibe the same way as them, and they respect you. You see, that's the thing. We're not playing a likability game here, right? Because not everybody's gonna like us, but liking is great, right? But respect is important, because if I like you, I'll be your friend. But if I respect you, I'll do business with you. And the respect comes when you demonstrate your knowledge in helping them solve problems. So I did that, thankfully, on the live stream. I did that, on videos, right? And you think about it, actually, as speakers, as entrepreneurs, we are a media company. Every company is a media company. And today, right, before your clients buy you, they will check you out. So if you're not on socials, you're not on website, and nobody's saying any good things about you, you would not even have a chance to get a meeting.
Today, I'll be talking with Feng. He's a serial entrepreneur, a global motivational speaker, and a content creator. He will be sharing with us his successful journey as a solopreneur, how he was able to scale his business in the middle of COVID-19, and how he built a high-performance team. Stay tuned for one more High Performance Teams podcast. Eric!
Yo!
I'm so excited having you here.
Too. Oh my God, I'm excited. I mean, remember, we were from the Clubhouse days.
So now today you are a successful entrepreneur and an acclaimed public speaker, you know. Now I would like to ask you, if I ask your parents, what do you do? What do you think they will tell me?
You know, just a couple of weeks ago, my dad actually came. My dad's the extrovert. He said, my friend asked me what you do. I don't know how to tell that. I say you are basically just taking photos and videos. I say that's a different kind of job, Dad. Because he sees me on the camera a lot. And I said, no, I don't do that. And then my mom tried to help. Oh, he's a public speaker. Then my dad was like, but what he speak about? So yeah, my parents do have a tough understanding of what I do. So I always give them PR statements like, oh, just tell them your son is a teacher. That's easy for uncles and aunties to understand.
They are so cute. They
are the most supportive people, because I started my entrepreneurship journey during university. Yeah, so I was studying, but they know that I was also hustling as a side business. And they have never ever questioned my decision. Never. Even my sister. My sister is also a serial entrepreneur. That's why I always say that I think one of the reasons why I could do what I do is because my parents gave me the space to do whatever I want. Nice. And it was really amazing, because I felt unlimited space to just grow. I don't have to worry that, do I need to, will my parents be upset with my decisions? Will I be able to make enough money? Even though that's my concern, but my parents always say, oh, we don't need your money, just do your thing, right? And that gives me that kind of freedom to really explore and experiment. Yeah.
So during your career, so I think it's very inspiring. How you started, and your story is really inspiring. As a solopreneur, when you were one-man show, what did you do really well that was different?
I think it was a quote that, so a big backstory, right? I joined the speaking industry in 2008. And you have to understand that back then, social media wasn't a thing. The industry was dominated by men, that's one, by old men. And so I was back then only 26, 27 years old, and I realized that, for me to do well in that speaking industry back then, I need to either have no hair or white hair, right? And then I will succeed. So it was tough. And in Singapore, it was like, you're a Singaporean speaker, it's different from, you're from somewhere else. So that was my starting point, right? Things are different right now, which is great. So I struggled, and I remember I had a mentor who had very little hair too, but very successful, Ron Kaufman, right? Who I'm proud to call as a mentor. He said to me that people buy people first. People don't buy your speeches, your products, your ideas. They buy you as an individual first. If they know you, they like you, they respect you, they will be open to your influence. And that blew my mind, because I was so caught up in trying to sell my ware, right? But I didn't realize that I need to sell myself first. So that was what got me started in the world of social media, because I chose to speak in the B2C industries. That means the insurance, the real estate, the network marketing business. But these are three businesses that are very interesting. The agents have a say in who gets to speak on the stage. Not just the chief agency officer, but the agent. So I knew I need grassroots power, right? So that was how I started. So I built my community on Facebook. I did live stream literally almost every week, answering questions, and that community grew to about 200K. One of the videos that went viral was about how I got looked down upon when I was young, and that was what got me that speech in Malaysia. They were like, "Oh, we love that speech, and would you be able to share it in our country?" So I'm telling you all this because that was my starting point. That when that community started growing, my influence started growing. That was when I realized, oh wow, whether you're an entrepreneur or you are a solopreneur, you need a community to back you up, to give you that soft power and credibility to drive things. Yeah.
And that's what you've been focusing a lot on, building
that community,
right?
Yeah, to support you, to they are like the wind beneath your wings, right? And I think that was my breakthrough, I felt. Yeah.
Wow, and I love what Ron Kaufman told you
People
about
buy
people
people
buy
first.
People buy people first,
Exactly.
not what you do or what you
Not
have.
yet, yeah.
Wow, that is lovely. Okay, so you went a successful solopreneur,
Yeah.
right?
So that was the most successful part, where I have the backing of a community. And you know what? It's very interesting. Yeah, it got to the extent where the client would come to us and say, "Oh, we actually had this speaker in mind, but our agents told us to consider you. So that's why we're having this meeting."
And why was that? Why they?
People buy people first.
Nice.
I really think that if people, they like you, they resonate with you, you vibe the same way as them, and they respect you. You see, that's the thing. We're not playing a likability game here, right? Because not everybody's going to like us, but liking is great, right? But respect is important, because if I like you, I'll be your friend. But if I respect you, I'll do business with you. And the respect comes when you demonstrate your knowledge in helping them solve problems. So I did that, thankfully, on the live stream. I did that, on videos, right? And you think about it, actually, as speakers, as entrepreneurs, we are a media company.
Yeah.
Every company is a media company. And today, right, before your clients buy you, they will check you out.
Yeah.
So if you're not on socials, you're not on website, and nobody's saying any good things about you, you would not even have a chance to get a meeting.
Wow.
Because in the past, people don't mind meeting you to get to know you. But people today want to get to know you first before they meet you. Things have changed because we are busy, there's so much competition. So yeah, going back a circle, I think that was the accidental breakthrough I had. Didn't realize that having a community is so powerful. It opens so many doors. Yeah.
And so you work a lot on yourself, right? And so what are the three things that people can do in order to build their presence online, as you did, and build that community?
Got it. Well, I'll summarize it in a formula called K, L, and R.
Yeah.
Right. So first, you got to get people to know you. Right. That's the first step, visibility. But in order for people to know you, you need to first know yourself. Because at the core of building your brand is self-awareness. And the danger is, as entrepreneurs, we go like, "Ooh, wow, this guy is doing so well. He has a certain style, he dresses a certain way, he speaks a certain way, and that's how he draws a crowd. I need to do the same." But at best, you are just a copycat. So we need to do the less intuitive, which is to look deep inside us and ask ourselves, what makes us attractive? What draws our initial fans to us? Who are the fans? The loyal customers of ours, those people that constantly support us and give us business. There is something about us that make them gravitate towards us. We need to know what that is, double down on that so that we can attract more of those super fans.
Yeah.
Because we don't need everyone to do business with us, But we need the people who love us, who adore us, who vibe the same way as us, who resonate the same value with us, to do business with us so that we can grow. That's our tribe. But it starts with self-awareness. So it's an important practical question you can do is go to all your top customers, including your employees, and then ask them, what makes me stand out from everybody else? What got you drawn to me? Pick up the common words. Get about 2 to 3 words, and that becomes your guiding principle in your communications. right? So for example, mine was authenticity. That was something that came up very clearly. They say that, but back then it's easy to be authentic because I have nothing to show anyway. Right? All I have are struggles, right? But I realized that, oh my, it's my struggles, it's me trying to be better that resonates. So imagine this, if I stop doing that because I think I'm successful, I'll lose the very reason why I even have a platform in the first place. So that's the first step, knowing what makes you attractive, that gets people to you. The second part is a bit more practical. L, they need to love you, right? Or if you think love is too strong an emotion, then maybe just get them to like you positively, to say good things about you. And psychologists actually prove that it's possible through this psychological effect called mere exposure effect. Mere exposure. Or you put it another way, it's called familiarity effect. Which means that the more I get exposed to you, the more I'll start to like you. Exposure is what creates likability, right? So at first I might hate you, but if I keep interacting with you, I'll begin to like you. So that's how it works. So, and Google actually backed this up, and they actually prove, a 13-year research, it says that you need 11 touch points across 4 locations and accumulate 7 hours of that interaction for you to get a person to buy something from you. So therefore, if we want to build our brand, we need to start thinking, how can I create consistent engagement with my community? And the community may be small at first. So for me, it was very straightforward. I think simply, on a daily basis, I'm going to just document my life. I'm going to just share interesting things about my life. People like to know that, right? On a weekly basis, I will do reflections. Because every week we have to reflect, or at least in our education business, we think about people that we meet, lessons that we learn. So I do that. On a monthly basis, I do a meetup session. Let's just meet up, get to know each other. Let me see how I can help you solve problems. I later scaled that into live streams. So that was what I did consistently for like easily a decade, right? Daily engagement on stories, and then weekly emails, monthly meetups. Just do that on a consistent basis. Without you keeping count, you are stacking 11 touch points. So that's L. So you need to have a content strategy or engagement strategy to make sure that you have this interaction. Even doing this podcast is an amazing way to engage, right, your community. The last one is respect, R. Because I told you, if I like you, I'll be friend with you, but if I respect you, I'll do business with you. So respect is where we need to think, how can I demonstrate my expertise, not to show off, but to solve problems? And so one of the easiest way, of course, I would say is live stream, because live stream is where you get to collect questions and you get to answer questions, conducting webinars, bringing experts to answer questions, or really just doing one-to-one coaching and then beaming it to the rest of the world. But whatever that you do is to demonstrate your expertise, and you want to do that too. So if you do that consistently, K, L, and R, first of all, you'll build a very loyal group of community who would like do business with you. But your brand grows, it expands, because social media is infinite, right? And so not just Singapore will get to know you, but actually the whole entire world who resonates with you will get to know you. That's the power of social media.
Man, I think we could have like only one podcast just talking about this, because I really admire the work that you're doing, and you're doing really well.
Thank you.
But today, I'm more interested about your journey going from one-man show, then to become a CEO, having a full-fledged team, So tell us, when was the turning point?
I wanted to build something that can last. And the only way I can build something that can last is if I have a vision, that's important, and that vision is what brings a team together. And then I have a team to create impact in this world. And the bigger the team, the more impact I can create. So I'm at that journey right now. So the team have grown, as I realized all those things, the team grew. I have a story as well, if you don't mind me sharing.
I would love to hear. Go.
So there was one time, my team came to me and said, "Hey Eric, we came up with 4 core values." I was like, "Ooh, wow, what are the 4 core values, right?" And then it's RICE, right? Respect, integrity, I think was commitment to excellence, or commitment and then excellence, RIC, so RICE. I was like, hey, no, why not put the E in front? Then it's Eric, right? So just put excellence in front, ERIC. And they paused for a moment, like, no. I was offended for a while. I was like, oh, it'd be so cool if the core value is called Eric, right? And then all of a sudden, a few days later, it hit me. it really hit me like a punch on the face. If I'm willing to put myself at the back seat and support, I become food for the world. Rather than putting Eric in front, if I put at the back and I support the team, I support the trainers, I build the team, we become rice, become food, become a resource, a staple resource to the world. And that was a profound moment for me.
Wow.
That if I'm willing to step back, because the problem with being a speaker is we love talking so much. We love podcasts, right? But being a speaker is antithesis to being a leader. Because a leader eats last, the leader talks last. The leader listens, they don't talk. The leader empowers, they don't do the work. You see, that's the opposite. So I would say it's tough for a speaker who's doing so well to become a leader. It's a 360-degree turn.
You know something that I really when you were telling that story, I was having goosebumps. I really loved what you.
The rice thing, I had goosebumps too right now.
Yeah. So no, but what I love is that I love that you are always pushing yourself for self-reflection. You are always asking deeper questions.
Do you know why?
Tell me.
I'm a big fan of Mind Valley. I don't know if you know Mind Valley Vision. And one day during his podcast, he says this. He said that at the end of the day, whoever you are, there's only one purpose that you have, at least in this lifetime, and that's to evolve, to become the best version of yourself. And everything in your life are just vehicles for your personal evolution. Your career, your relationships, your health, everything is there for you to grow. And so, if you as a person grows, everything grows as well.
Wow.
So if I want to do big business, I need to grow. I need to be bigger. And I think that mindset shift was what made me realize that I don't have to do the easy thing, because the easy thing is to be a solopreneur. Right? And that's okay too. But the amount of impact and money I'll make will also be limited. And if I'm satisfied with that, then and if whoever listening to this is satisfied with that, go. There's no judgment. You do you, right? But the problem with me is I'm extremely ambitious. I really want to do big things. I know people have a lot of things to say about Elon Musk, but I would say that he's one of my biggest idols. Whether he's controversial, yes, but he's making big impact in this world. His companies are not. Tesla doesn't just build cars. Tesla's purpose is to accelerate sustainability. And the rockets, right? It's not just to send men up on Mars. No, it's to colonize. It's to create new worlds for us. Whether he can achieve it in this lifetime or not is doubtful, but it's what attracts smart, talented people. Smart, talented people don't just want to help you make more money. Smart, talented people, they want to do big things.
So now if we go to your team, so how did you build a high-performance team? Maybe you can share how many people you have and what have you done in order to build your team?
Got it. So I also have a false thinking in the past, and that got me in trouble, right? So I thought, okay, I want to build a team, and people always ask you, how big is your business, right? And people kind of infer that if your team is big, your business is big. But I later realized that yes, your team is big, your business is big, but it also means your overheads are big. So I used to have this ego thing where, I want to have like as big a team as possible. I want to be able to tell people that I have 30 people across Asia. And I used to have that because that was ego talking, right? Because I thought that, it'd be nice to have a very big team. But see, if you have no leadership skills, you might be able to use money to buy them for a while, but they're not going to stay with you. And that was when I realized something. There's a Chinese saying, I'll try to summarize it later. Okay, 人在一起不算团队。心要在一起才算团队, which means when people gather, it doesn't mean it's a team. Hearts gather, you don't just have a team, you have a community of powerful people that can champion things. So that was my humble takeaway when I lost our team because of bad business decision. Like we expanded too fast, but we didn't have the capacity to hold that, and so the team left. Right, I was upset, but on looking, it's been like 6-7 years. But looking back, I realized that they should leave. If I were them, I'll leave too. Right, because the environment doesn't help them grow. So that was that era where I thought big teams work. So with ego aside, I decided to have a more logical way to hire people. So I go with this framework called the Genius Zone. So what is a Genius Zone? A Genius Zone is work that you do that feels effortless to you but creates huge impact to the world. It's like the way you do it is so effortless but huge impact. So what I did was I listed down every single task that needs to be done in order for me to build a big business. So there is funnel buildings, there's ads, copywriting, there is operations, customer service, editing, everything you could think about. I listed it down, and I had an Excel spreadsheet with 3 columns. Column number 1 is do I enjoy doing it? Do I look forward to doing it? You know how some tasks you don't look forward to doing, like picking up the phone, some of us just don't like picking up the phone, so we procrastinate. So anything that you procrastinate, it means that you don't really like doing it. So love, right? How much do you love it? 1 upon 5, 5 you love it, it makes you excited. Like me coming to you today, I'm excited. I love podcasts, right? So podcasts would have been a 5 for me. Okay, now then the next one is competence, because some people love singing, but they can't sing, for crying out loud, right? They can only sing in the bathroom, but they cannot sing in public. But they enjoy it, so singing might be 5 for them, but competence is 1. So you also need to score yourself in terms of competence. Are you good at it? Now I tell you, Rodrigo, that's the danger. Because actually some of our successful friends, like yourself and our friends, they are good too. And they love it too. But the impact might not be great. See, so there's a third part, which is the impact. Like, does it have the biggest impact to your business? So yes, sure, I may love copywriting, and I'm good at it. But the impact is not going to be as great as me networking strategically with the big bosses. Because that impact would have been a 4 or 5, while copywriting could be a 2. How do I measure impact is, if I take that away, will the business collapse? It's not. Normal writing with Jasper.ai, you can still pass. It's still passable, right? So it's not the best, but I enjoy doing it. So sometimes we thought that, since I enjoy doing it and I'm good at it, I'll do it. No, we need to focus on 2 to 3 things that we're really good at and master it. So I did that exercise, and all those that is like, because it's upon 15, right? So anything that is less than 10, I outsource it, or I delegate it, or I hire. I group them together, and that's how I create roles, right? And then those that have very high scores, that means like a 12, 13, 14, 15, I personally do it. And by me doing that, now I have a functional business with people doing the things I want. Yeah. And that's how it works. So I use the Genius Zone to hire.
So you also do with your team, right? And then you do with your team the same?
Well, because initially it started from me finding the team. So I didn't really do a team. It's more like I decided what I needed, and then I go find those people.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and you see the thing is that a lot of times we try to find people by job titles, right? Yeah, but I don't find people by job titles, because job titles are just inflated labels, right? You don't really know what they do, right? Unless you test them, not ask them, because everybody will tell you they do amazing things, but you got to test them. So usually, let's say for example, I have like 3 tasks. Let's say we go back to copywriting, right? So I really need to find a copywriter, an employee who can copyright, okay? And the powerful part of our brain is the reticular activating system. The minute you know I need a person that can do this, I need a person that can open this network for me, people start coming, right? And you test them. So for example, like my salespeople, I test them. They all say they can sell. I say, okay, so I'm going to give you my product. I'm going to meet you in 5 days' time, and you're going to pitch it to me. I want to know how you're going to sell that product. So don't need waste time about interview. Interviews are just there to assess core values. Yeah, but once our core values are aligned, skill set is based on testing. So when I do that, I'll start to find a staff that can do 5 of my items there, and we get a person in. Might not have a title. He'll be just the guy that do 5 things, but he does it well and he's good at it. But we can create a name for that after that. So that's how I hire.
And how do you choose them? What is important for you in a person when you are like interviewing a person?
Got it. So I realized that one of the core tasks as a founder is to build our network. Now again, if building network is not part of your Genius Zone, it's okay. Then you got to immediately find a partner, a business partner, or a close friend who can help you do that, and you just get the person to help you, okay? But it happens that it was my Genius Zone. So my method was really just going out there and going for networking events, going for and people always think networking must be suit and tie. No, networking simply just means meeting people. In an environment that you enjoy. So I love badminton, so I play a lot of badminton. I love hiking, I play a lot of hiking. I hike a lot. I love learning, so I go for a lot of seminars. And then at those environments, I get to meet people. And because I already kind of in the back of my mind, I kind of know who I need, right? So I would just talk to them, and then I'll go like, hey, so what do you do? And you can assess. And I'll go like, oh my, you're good at this. And then that's when, I'll say, would you be interested to come and help us? And that's how it happens. So I always feel that you need to you need to be very clear of what you need, and not what you need now, Rodrigo. You need to think about, if I want to build a business of a scale, a certain scale in 5 years' time, who are the people you need? You need to start finding them now, because they're not going to appear in front of you immediately. And the problem is, a lot of us, we hire by availability, we don't hire by capability. That's the problem, because we don't hire in advance. Right? And we don't have to pay them a full salary. We can test them on projects, right? So you need to think first, what's the business you want to build in the next 5 years? What kind of people and skills you need? And then you start finding them. So you can take your time.
Yeah, I really love that. Yeah, because a lot of times we interview, and then it's just one moment, and
then you have no choice. You're forced to.
Exactly.
And I was in that position many times, and I hate to be put in that position.
So I really like that. So you already have your vision. You know where you want to go. You are clear what you want to achieve and who you need. And then you start looking, and it's a journey, right?
And we can circle back to community. Sometimes it's easier to hire from your community, right? Because your community has been you've been spending a lot of time, 11 touch points with them. They'll kind of get your values. You might have already taught them some skills, right? So you might actually be able to find people through your community as well, or by referrals.
Wow, what a journey, Eric.
I think I'm still at the beginning. I hope. I feel that maybe in the next 5 years we have another chat and let's see where am I at. But I think it's always in the growing. It's never going to be one perfect. But the very cool thing is that when things go wrong this time around, I don't like just give up. When things break, I now have this mechanism in my head that I will not ask like why it happens to me, because it doesn't serve anybody. I will ask, what can I learn from this? So as long as everything is a learning journey, then you will never give up. Then you know what, you're just attending a lifetime of class where life is your teacher. And your people are your teachers too.
I love it.
So I love it. I feel that when I put myself in that state, then I'm very excited about this journey. I'm not too caught up with achieving that numbers. You know how like we play games, like we keep wanting to just get to the last stage, but sometimes no, right? Games are fun because of the process, right? So I'm starting to learn to enjoy the process. So that I'm not too worried about trying to get the results too soon. Anyway, after you hit the result, then you have 20 more years, and what do you do with your life, right? So that's
wow, what a journey. So what have you learned in this journey? Now when you look back,
I think the biggest learning for me really is the one I just shared with you, that we are here to grow, to evolve, to become the best version of ourselves. And the more we grow, the bigger everything else grows. Our network grows, the quality of our network grows, our money grows, our businesses grow, our relationship grow. So just remember, I think that's the most important takeaway for me. Work on yourself.
Very
then
good.
The next one, then you want to grow your business, you want to attract talents to you. I realized that you need to attract them not by a paycheck. You need to attract them by a certain purpose. You need to think of a business as a force that can allow you to impact the world. So I got a hack, right? As a founder, if you realize that, I just want to make some money, that's okay, but you're not going to attract a lot of people to you. Can you imagine you go to your people and say, hey, my company our goal is to be number one next year, but not everybody is competitive, right? And what is number one anyway? It's subjective. No one's really doing the real measurements, right? Or you tell them, we want to grow by 10%, 20%. The only people that will be interested to hear that is your shareholders and maybe yourself, but your employees are not going to be excited about that, right? It's not going to be fueling them. So, and plus, don't forget, Gen Zs are coming into the workforce, right? And they're going to form a very big sales workforce. And they are very purpose-driven. So a quick hack for all founders is to go search United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. You know, United Nations come together, I think, 2006, and they identified 17 goals that they want to achieve in this lifetime, right? So they're beautifully there. There's poverty, there's sustainability, there's a giving voice to the voiceless, all those sorts. I don't know exactly all the 17. So a founder can actually go in there and ask themselves which one resonates with them. Because ultimately, isn't that what businesses are for? You know, yeah, you can make 10 million, 20 million, 10 billion. Then how much money do you really need? You don't need that much money, you know. But what is going to be meaningful in the Maslow hierarchy of needs is where it's altruism, right? It's your ability to impact the world. And so we reverse that. You know, a lot of times we thought we take care of their belonging, you know. No, reverse that. Work on your purpose and everything gets taken care of. So I say that would be my second takeaway. Second very big takeaway. So these days, when I talk to companies, shareholders, customers, and even our employees, I don't tell them, oh, we're just doing sales training. No. I told them this. Our purpose in our companies, our groups, everything that I built is to bring happiness to people. And you know something, Rodrigo? When customers are happy, they spend more. They're more loyal to you. But how do we make sure our customers are happy? Our salespeople need to be happy. Because if they are happy, mentally taken care of, and they're motivated, inspired, they will bring business for you. So that's what one of my companies. Our company is called Happy Customer. One of our companies is called Happy Customers. Our job is to make your people productive and happy. So we're doing all kinds of things. We're like giving vitamins to salespeople. We are teaching salespeople how to take care of their mental wellness, because salespeople are one of the most stressful people. And when you take care of all those things, right, their sales get taken care of. So we still do sales training, but it's boring to just tell people sales training. So when I tell the young people, you know what, we're here to bring happiness to people in a very, very tangible way. They're like, wow, this is cool, right? And when we tell our customers, we want to make sure your guys are happy, right? It's very nice for them too, because they saw the numbers. Happiness equals productivity.
Yeah.
So I felt like that makes us stand out from a lot of other sales companies out there who just wants to help themselves, which is boring after a while. Yeah.
Well, I love that. I love what you said about it's. I don't do sales trainings.
No.
I bring happiness to
because
people.
there are only the
That's
few
what-
things that matters in this world, really. Only a few things. Everything is a means to the end. So if we as a founder focus on that end first, our business can grow really big. Think about it. Like if right now I say, I just want to do sales training, there's only that much work you can do.
Yeah.
But if I want to help salespeople be happy, do you know how much work we get to do? It's a lot, you know. We have to deal with their inner world. We have to deal with their health. We have to deal with the politics and the environment that the country is in. There's so much things we do. There's only one country in the entire world that uses happiness as measure of the country's profitability.
Yeah.
Right? So I think we have a lot of work cut out for us if we think a lot bigger. Yeah.
You spoke about founders. So maybe for founders who are in the same position as you, or were in the same position of you, like thinking more, I'm solopreneur, but I want to grow, going from a solopreneur to an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
What is the one thing that you advise them to do?
I think do the genius zone thing. So for now, you might not have the money yet to be able to outsource or delegate or hire. Don't worry. But the key thing is to plan it first.
Yeah.
So right now, just draw your org chart.
Yeah.
Just everything that needs to be done is your name. That's all.
Yeah.
But in future, you're gonna replace every one of them with a person.
Oh.
So at least you have that in mind.
Yeah.
So that you won't feel like you're gonna be working for yourself and being self-employed for the rest of your life. And then do the genius zone and start looking for people. Yeah. I would say that if I know what I know back then, I would have started the team way earlier. Way earlier. But you know, life is like that.
Yeah.
It's for you to learn.
I really love the genius exercise.
Yeah, the genius zone.
Wow, I mean, I think we're coming to the end. I mean, so fast. we went so fast.
So far, so deep.
But now I have a special question for you. And I know you've been, for many years talking around the world, and many people asking you all sorts of questions.
Yeah.
But what is one question that no one asked you and you would love to answer?
There are many questions that I wish people would ask me, but maybe this is one question that I wish people will ask me, which is, on the last day of your life, like in your funeral, right? What would you want people to say about you? People that come to your funeral and say about you that will make you tear even while you're in a coffin or wherever I am, right? Because I think if there's one thing I actually would love to do, segue a bit, is I'm actually going to organize a funeral before I die. Because you think about it, Rodrigo, when we die, depending on your spiritual beliefs, but when we die, we probably will not be able to listen to what people say. I don't know, right?
Yeah.
So I decided that to play safe, before I die, maybe 1 year, 2 years before, I'm actually gonna hold a funeral. Yeah.
Tell us more about that.
And I'm gonna invite everybody that I've impacted, and I'm gonna invite them to share about how I've made a difference in their life. Yeah, and I want to hear it, because I want my life to count. So so that's the question I wish someone would ask me, like how would I want, what would I want people to say, on the last day of my life, and I wish people would say that I have impacted their life in a way that make them enjoy the kind of life they're living. I just want to feel like I matter. And so I wish someone would ask that question so that, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. You remember there's this, you think about it, when we are born, we cry, right? Then the world rejoices, right? Yeah, isn't it cool if you can live a life that when you die, you rejoice and the world cries? We've seen some great people having that kind of life, right? I think that would be something I'll look forward to.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow, Eric. When I thought we couldn't go deeper, you went even deeper.
6 feet down, under the ground.
So good, Eric.
Well, thanks for your question.
This was so good. I mean, I really loved our conversation.
Oh, I love it. I love it too.
And
yeah.
I love your passion, and I love you really want to do big things. You want to help people make a difference. And I mean, so many takeaways, but there's one thing that what I took from you is really work on yourself.
Yes.
And make others around you grow, and
yes.
the rest will happen.
Because that's the sole purpose here on Earth.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for your question. All the best for your podcast.
That was such a deep and intense conversation with Eric Feng. If you are enjoying our podcast, don't forget to subscribe so that you are notified when more episodes are released and you help us to spread the word.